Up next, I would like to request our guest of honor, Shri Pasang Dorjee Sona ji, Honorable Speaker, Arunachal Pradesh Legislative Assembly, for his speech. Sir will speak on the political will and government's position to address the challenges of climate change in Arunachal. Please, sir.
It's too loud, I think. Good morning. I acknowledge Honorable Deputy Chief Minister in absence at the moment as the chief guest today. And on the dais, Shri Rajesh, CCF, and Information Commissioner Shri Gumjum Haider, honorable members of Legislative Assembly, and learned resource person who had come to participate in this panel discussion and symposium on climate change, and all other respected guests, ladies and gentlemen, and media friends. I've been asked to speak on political will and government's position to address the challenge. But today we have, as a chief guest, the Deputy Chief Minister from the government side. I think he will be the right person, to speak on the government's position and how they have planned to mitigate this climate change in the state of Arunachal. Nevertheless, I'll be delivering with a layman's perspective about the climate change, how we see it and how we perceive, and what we need to understand about the coming danger which we're going to face due to the climate change. So when I said as a layman, earlier we used to think, when we talk about climate change or the global warming, we used to think, this is the responsibility of the developed nation because they have done enough damage to the world. So it's their responsibility, And we as a developing nation, we don't have any responsibility towards the mitigation of climate change. We have seen the Cancun Summit, the Paris Agreement, now the COP26, which was recently held in Glasgow, where more than 200 countries attended, and they have given their commitment, to mitigate the climate change issue. Now the resource person has given us a PowerPoint presentation. I was looking at it and it was really horrifying, to see what could happen to the globe, to this blue planet, if we don't act now. It's an exigency at the moment what we see, because we try to understand and connect ourselves with which is happening around us. So just a recent example, I come from a place, very close to the Himalaya, called Mechuka. So way back when I was back in Mechuka during the month of November, this November, it was so warm because earlier years we used to get a lot of snows in the mountain around. We did not even see a small patch of snow on the mountain. And the climate, the weather was so warm. They were thinking, this could be the impact of the climate change. And if you see that recently, we have never seen such a heavy snowfall, as close as Darya Hill, which is right here near Itanagar, and even zero, for that matter, even a lot of places which have never seen snowfall, they got snowfall. So this is that very the behavior of the climate, that indicates that really something is happening and we must work on it. So when we say that, I keep telling people about what His Holiness has said about climate change and our responsibility towards mitigating this issue. he said that if you look at the moon, it looks so beautiful in the night, and it has been inspiration for lots of writers and the poets, to write and describe its beauty. Even they compared moon with beautiful objects. Even it inspired so many poets, so many writers, because it looks so beautiful in the night. But even if you try, even if you want, you cannot go and settle there. He said, this blue planet, the Earth, is the only hope. Our billionaires are going to space, spending hundreds and thousands of crores of money. But are we actually getting, to see the light of, having a habitation in that outer space? All we need to do is focus on our planet where we are living. So that's what it always rings my mind whenever the climate change comes. His Holiness said, we need to come together, fight this menace of climate change, because it will be too late if we don't act now. So the climate change, the greenhouse gas emissions, we have read, we know what it is, but we never thought that it could be so detrimental, it could be so horrendous, for our people. And it just not only affect one aspect of our human life. Now, like what we have said in the PowerPoint presentation, right from your health, right from your food security, right from the, depletion in the water sources, and like you said, the Himalaya is the third pole, what they say. So we need to protect it. And like I said, when we thought like it was just a responsibility of the developed country, now we understand that we all need to collectively get together and fight this menace, or else we are too late and we're going to face the music very soon. So this is one of the biggest challenge we have. And when we talk about the government's will, the political will, and what the government is doing to address this problem. So I have seen in the agenda, there's a presentation on Pakke Declaration. I think this Pakke Declaration 2047 is the commitment of the government, to fight climate change. And there it says climate change resilient, because as a growing state, we need to do a lot of developmental activities. But at the same time, how we take care of the environment, that is the biggest challenge. And in all this while, when we frame policies also, we always say that when we frame a policy, development is a must, but at the same time, we have to see that we are not, playing around with our fragile ecology, because we need to, think about our future, think about the, environment, how it's going to affect us. And we keep, shouting our lungs out, saying we have more than 83% of forest cover in Arunachal. We are the lung of India. And when Supreme Court has put a ban on the timber operation, we were like very agitated. I said, for the ill work, done by rest of the country, why Arunachal is facing, getting all the brunt, and because of us, we are giving so much of oxygen to the whole country, because we have to more than 80% of forest cover. But now we realize that, we all need to come together, because one community or one region or just a country alone cannot do anything. It is a collective effort where we all need to come together and fight this climate change problem and the mitigation. Because in Arunachal also, we are doing a lot of infrastructure development. So on this aspect, the government is very, very careful about it, and government also wants that we need to grow, but we need to grow with a very compassionate approach towards the environment, so that our future doesn't get affected that sustainable development has to be there. So today, Honorable Deputy Chief Minister is here with us. I think he will give us a deliberation on what are the government's plan and what are they doing. But in a nutshell, I said the Pakke Declaration shows the government's commitment on climate change. And I think, if I'm not wrong, Arunachal is the only state who has taken such a step as a state on climate change with this Pakke Declaration. And the commitment towards the environment. And our forest minister, he has given a clarion call for surrendering the air guns. I think that also will contribute lots to the protection of our wildlife and flora and fauna, because we all are connected with each other, because right from the flora and fauna to the human being, it's a total ecosystem. So we need to be very, very concerned, and we have to think about the fragile ecosystem, how to protect it. So since I'm not an expert on all this subject, we have lots of resource person who have come, and we have a deliberation on the Pakke Declaration also, I think, and the Deputy Chief Minister will speak on behalf of the government, and the government's approach towards the challenges and the solution, to this present and clear danger of climate change. So with these few words, I would like to thank the organizing committee for putting up such a beautiful symposium today on climate change, because we all need to understand the problem, which is really, really horrifying, in coming for sustainable development and for the future of our people and the entire planet as a whole. With this, I would like to thank once again. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Shri Pasang Dorjee Sona ji, for sharing such kind words with us. And sir very correctly said that we need to take action now to protect the environment, for our Mother Earth is our only hope.